So I just want to dissect this a little bit further now that we've seen the submit and reset buttons in action. So here it says, when clicked, all data currently entered in the form is sent to the appropriate location. So here it's sent to this particular email address via the post method. That's the name value pair. So here you can see after every ampersand that it has a name value pair. And that's why we want to be very careful with what we name each input control and then with the value options that it has. So you can see here I didn't enter an email address, so it has no value attached to it. That should be expected. But you can see with the rest of this that everything, if I take out those ampersands, separates out. You can see that. Every single input control name has a value pair if I entered something into that particular box or selected an option. So this is what happens when you have the post method with the email that is paired to it. So as I said, for post, the data is sent in a file, kind of like this, to that particular location. And you can see the ampersands basically break apart that string and allow you to pick apart the name value pairs. It's name equals value ampersand. Name equals value ampersand. So this is an actual output file that will be sent to an email when that submit button is clicked. Then kind of noting the reset button, we have all this information in here. When that button is clicked, all data that is currently entered in the form is cleared. It removes anything that was previously entered. Doesn't really care what was there, it just sets it back to the default. So just kind of keeping those in mind. And then I did not put these inside of a paragraph tag, but you can to keep with consistency of the rest of the page. So from here, you should now have a completed form. Now what we're going to do with the rest of this is we're going to start organizing this into grouping. So we're actually going to group together the personal info, group together the about your order, group together the additional comments into those field sets with the legend. So remember, our field set controls are how we actually group these together. They're used to make that information easier to read, and you simply want to group together like types of information. So you're going to see me do that here with 3 different chunks of information. So first we want to look at the different field sets we want to create and then kind of break them apart in our code. So here we can see all of the information about you. So I'm going to kind of put an enter there, and that's the personal information up here. Then the next chunk is I have about the order. So here is about the order, and I'm going to kind of separate that out. This is going to be my second chunk of information I grouped together, which has my choices as well as my credit card information. And then the last piece is just that general data, gathering of data at the very, very end, additional comments, and etc. So we're going to separate those with different field set tags, and then we're going to give each a legend. So notice that each one has a legend. It can be left aligned or right aligned, and we're going to add those in as well. And the legend is just a legend tag that displays text that describes what's inside of each field set, and it can be left or right justified in your code. So here we're going to actually add this right in. So here I'm going to add in my field set tag. I'm going to then close my field set tag so I can see that those group together. You could actually bump these back if you wanted to so you can see that. And then inside of here, I am going to put legend and say that I want my legend to align to the left. Legend align to the left. And I'm going to write the words personal info and then close off legend. So now if I save this and I run it in Chrome, you can see that the personal info is around the select the types of pictures you are interested in purchasing. And that is because I put that around that information instead. So I can see here that kind of made a little bit of a mistake. I should have put this code up above the personal information about me. Didn't, but luckily it's a pretty easy fix to fix that. So here I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to close that field set tag off. And then here I'm going to align to the right, and I'm going to do the next chunk with order information. So here I can write order info. And here, if I run it, you can see I have personal info and order info. And then the last chunk here, I can add in another field set tag around the next chunk. So I have field set. I then have the legend tag. That's going to be back aligned to the left. And I'm just going to write additional info, close off the legend tag. And then I will close off field set from here. So now if I run my code and I display it to the screen, I can see that it's separated into 3 different areas, which is kind of nice. So now you should see that on your screen as well. So you should have those all added in there, all of those field sets, and that is the end of this unit. So now you have your full order form designed and made. You should know how to incorporate all of those different types of input controls. Go ahead and experiment with those attributes if you'd like to. And then you should be able to separate them into field sets as well. And obviously, when you start doing your own project, you're going to add in a lot of your own stylings and things like that. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little of experience just seeing how these can all work together to really make a nice, usable form. So you can now move on to worksheet 6C. And then from here, you can work on the project for this particular unit.